name is Evie Aswiti. Welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to talk about something that's been swirling and swirling around the internet, mainly YouTube, and it's called pretty privilege. Okay, so disclaimer, this is not a video where I'm going to talk about pretty privilege not existing. This isn't a video where I'm going to be talking about how bad it is to be pretty and how pretty people struggle too. No. I'm not doing any of that. I'm not for any of that. This isn't a video that's gonna invalidate people's experiences because I don't do that as well, okay? But I am gonna talk about pretty privilege and how it's great, it's amazing, but it's also not what you think it is, and it can be overwhelming. If you guys hear a kettle in the background, I was making tea, so I have it here ready because this is gonna be maybe a long video, maybe not, but either way, I didn't really write down any scripts or anything for this because it was like mulling in my mind, and I was like, I don't really know how to talk about this, but also I'm sipping tea and I'm like chilling right now, so let me just get the camera ready and talk about this subject. So pretty privilege. I feel a type of way about how Black girls have been talking about this on YouTube. One video in particular that kind of got this swirling was one from, I believe her name is Stefco, and she really articulated her experience very well and presented the idea of pretty privilege in a way that I haven't seen it presented before. So shout out to her for that. And I've seen other videos and reactions to that specific video, but I don't really want to talk about like that video per se. I really just want to talk about how, why is it that when it comes to being a Black woman, a Black girl, especially if you're darker skinned, there's just this woe is me, I'm ugly, or I'm not worthy, or I'm invisible concept that is overshadowing the dark-skinned girls that are confident and that are going to slay regardless of what society tells them. You know what I mean? That isn't to say that feeling invisible and feeling less than doesn't exist. It absolutely does. I mean, I deem myself as pretty and I deem myself as having privilege, but I also don't believe that pretty privilege is what you think it is. I think pretty privilege involves more than how you look. I think pretty privilege involves making a decision to carry yourself in a manner that is going to get what you want out of this life with the cards that you have dealt to you, no matter what. I saw a video and one lady was saying how, you know, I could be in a room and I could be next to a non-Black woman with the same outfit, same personality, you know, both look attractive, but the majority of the world is going to choose her over me because of my skin tone. And I definitely felt a way about hearing that because it's not like there isn't some truth. But if the goal is to get the male gaze or to get a guy, right? Or the attention of a quality guy, because I hope people want quality these days. I mean, some don't, you gotta ask. But who cares if that other option is getting 100 likes or 100, you know, attentions, or let's say DMs, 100 DMs in their inbox, and let's say you get 10 DMs. If 99 of her DMs are not quality guys that you would go for anyway, who cares? Because if you have 10 DMs and each of those 10 DMs of guys are quality guys that are fitting the criteria of what you're looking for, then why care about this other person that doesn't look like you getting 100 DMs when you can find the love of your life in that DM of yours? It's about quality over quantity. Who cares if getting attention and so much attention makes you feel less than, because you don't know what the quality or of that attention is, and you also don't know whether or not that attention is wanted. Obviously, if you're beautiful, even if you're not beautiful, everyone loves attention. Everyone wants to feel like they're desired. We're not talking about that. I'm just talking about how I think pretty privilege is a journey, and for me, it was a journey. I consider myself a late bloomer. I didn't always believe I was pretty throughout my life. Um, but that transition, that journey changed, not because I changed, not because like physically, like not because like, I don't know, I changed a feature in my face or I changed a feature in my body. If that's your forte, then go for it. But I'm still the same person as the one that was teased as a youngin. I'm still that same person inside. But I made a decision throughout my life to not be in that victimhood of seeing the glass half empty and seeing myself as unworthy or undeserving. The moment that I decided that I deserve and that I am, because the power of the words I am is very, very powerful, everything changed for me. And how I carried myself and how I presented myself changed. And also just how I feel comfortable. You know what I mean? Like, I think people focus so much on the quantity of attention or the type of attention they get, but they don't evaluate the source of the attention. I think being pretty could be very overrated. I know plenty of pretty people that are beautiful, they're gorgeous, but they desire companionship, they desire marriage, they desire, having this fairy tale life, but they're single or they're very depressed or they have very, very poor self-esteem or body dysmorphia or what so have you. And there's a space for all of that, the goal isn't perfection. But I feel like this comparison game that we're all playing, it's not it. It's not it. It's not cute. It's not adorable. I hate seeing constant videos of women that look like me, of a deeper complexion, saying how they feel unattractive, how they feel ugly, how they feel like they're not desired. And I don't think that's true. I think we are desired. I think we are precious. And I think we are what we say we are. But if you say that you're not whatever you're not, then that's true. You're right. You're not whatever you're not. But if you say and you decide that you are who you are and you do what you need to do to get closer to what that is, I do believe people around you act accordingly, because it's not about only how you look or being pretty. It's about the aura. It's about the confidence. It's about how do I make sure that I'm going to see the glass half full and I'm going to act in accordance with my glass being half full, because the glass is still there and the water is still there. Half full, half empty is perspective. So I'm a really, really true believer that, it's what you decide to be. If you feel like you deserve it, then you deserve it, If you feel like speaking things into existence is what your MO is, then that is what it is, I think sometimes we kind of hide behind whatever fears that we have internally, but instead of confronting those fears, we just say that, oh, I'm never gonna have that, and that's cool. And that could be cool if you are truly at peace with it being cool. But I think for the most part, folks aren't at peace with it. And to people that do subscribe to being pretty and beautiful, please don't invalidate other people's experiences that may be less beautiful conventionally or average. I think they have a space to feel how they feel, but at the same time, I don't think as a pretty girl, air quotes, you have to trauma bond or have the struggle Olympics. Well, being pretty is hard too, and I go through this. No, you don't have to do that. Like, someone else's experience could be valid and true, and your experience could be valid and true. It's not a competition, and I really hate seeing that. I really think that this pretty privilege conversation, especially in the Black space and being a Black woman, I'm just really tired of it. I'm really over, over the fact that there's so many views, and not all of these views are views from like eyeballs of folks that are like looking like me, These are views from other races and other people that may not have that much exposure to folks of color, specifically Black women. So don't you think we should have more representation of people that are confident and are not using their skin tone as a handicap, because it's starting to look like we're using our skin tone, using our likeness and our image as a handicap, and it's not a handicap. Curious. At least not over here around these parts. And this is just my 2 cents. I mean, definitely feel free to leave your comments below. But at the end of the day, pretty privilege is about how you deem it to show up in your life. I think when it comes to being a woman, there's things that we all value because we're women. However, I don't think, you know, relying on others to set our value is a win. It's really a lose-lose, because whatever someone else deems as beautiful and you try to be perfect, it's a lose-lose because perfection doesn't exist. It's a lose-lose because what that other person thinks perfection is, if that person decides that you and yourself and your likeness will never be perfect, nothing you do can be perfect to that guy's or that girl's, that person's gaze or their depiction of what perfect means. So at the end of the day, you just gotta do what you gotta do. Honestly, being beautiful is amazing, but it doesn't mean that not having pretty privilege isn't amazing too. You know what I mean? Being pretty or amazingly beautiful is not necessarily the average thing. You know what I mean? There's way more people that are average that are insanely beautiful. And then there's the opposite of the spectrum, insanely ugly, so to speak. I hate using the term ugly, but for the sake of, like, you know, the video. So yeah, I really hope that this like truly inspired someone. I would love to have this conversation more with folks. Pretty privilege is definitely a journey, especially for folks that are late bloomers like me. And I really hope that if you are someone that identifies with, you know, looking like me, or, you know, being of a certain complexion, or just being of a certain ethnic group, mainly, you know, whether you're African or African American or Caribbean or whatever in the African diaspora, Black diaspora, please, 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 just be the best version of yourself and find the best way that you can deal with the cards dealt that you have in this life. Because it's really sad to see 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, however videos, and it's about how Black women don't see themselves as worthy when we are. So that's it. My name is Evie. I hope you love this video. I don't really do content like this, but I really had to like talk about it because, man, I'm telling you, it's a lot of forces out here to make us feel like we do not belong, and we do. So feel free to subscribe, comment below, like the video, and I will see you next time. Bye.